A single quiet error, a motion too faint to see. In the blink of an eye, existence begins to fade. Out here in the untamed world, the end doesn't come with sirens or alarms. It creeps in silently, cloaked in scales and sand, driven by a hunger honed over eons. What you are seeing isn't messy confusion, it is absolute cold calculation. A toxic hunter biding its time for that split-second window when running away is no longer an option. Buried in the harsh landscape, a lethal serpent slides ahead without making a sound. It barely touches the earth, its forked tongue flickering to taste the breeze like biological radar. Nearby, an unsuspecting creature takes a break, oblivious that it has been targeted. This is nature's way, fate determined not by kindness but by perfect timing. The reptile doesn't hurry. It never wavers. Every sinew is wound tight, like a spring, every sense locked onto one specific inevitability. And then, the break. Violence erupts from the void. Zero notice, zero do-overs. The jaws clamp down with horrifying precision, delivering a chemical cocktail refined by nature to extinguish life instantly. The target realizes too late. Terror surges after the agony, but the toxin races ahead of the fear. Limbs turn to lead. Speed evaporates. The destiny of the prey is already written. Here lies the terrifying grace of the viper, a quiet assassin that requires neither bulk nor brawn, just accuracy. Some attacks happen faster than you can blink, yet they determine the future. Lenses seldom catch these splits in time because they are too rapid, too hushed. Yet when captured, they expose a reality few wish to acknowledge. Out here, life belongs to the one who hits first and hits true. We are just getting started. The scenes ahead will overturn everything you thought you understood about hunters and their quarry, for in the wild, the tables can turn in a heartbeat. If you have a thirst for lethal predators, stealthy assassins, and raw footage of the struggle to survive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you catch every moment of the action. When the dust clears following the attack, the victor doesn't cheer. There is no haste, no energy thrown away. The venomous serpent simply waits still as stone, letting biology finish the job that velocity started. The toxin surges through the victim's veins, assaulting the nervous system, freezing muscles, transforming terror into immobility. Each ticking second tightens the hunter's grip. In this domain, waiting is just as deadly as biting. With deliberate slowness, the snake moves in. It knows the perfect spot to latch on. A calculated bite near the skull stops any last-ditch fighting. This isn't cruelty, it is efficiency honed over millions of years. The prey's energy drains, its choices vanish until escape is just a desperate instinct fading into the quiet. Yet staying alive out here is a two-way street. In another part of this brutal terrain, a different serpent starts its shift, hidden under baking hot sand. Nothing but eyes and a tail tip show. That tail wiggles and twists, acting like a bug fighting for life. To a passing lizard, it looks like a free lunch. Appetite blinds it to the risk. Inch by inch, the lizard creeps in, ignorant that it is walking toward its doom, masked as a meal. The trap springs instantly. The dune erupts as the viper bursts forth, fangs locking into the target with flawless aim. No pursuit needed. No way out. In seconds, the meal is consumed, entirely wiped from the earth, as if it were never there. The killer sinks back under the grit, leaving zero evidence of the struggle. Footage like this unveils a cold fact: venomous snakes don't bank on luck. They bank on trickery, clocks, and perfect action. Whether striking from the dark or baiting a victim close, every single motion has one goal: staying alive, no matter the price. The further we venture, the more disturbing it gets. Because coming up, you will witness times when poison isn't enough, and the assassin becomes the victim. If you are hungry for more unscripted wildlife encounters, fatal traps, and gritty survival sagas, be sure to like, subscribe right now, and stick around for the next part. Not all beasts in the bush are afraid of a bite. Some tolerate it, others defy it. That is where the hierarchy starts to crumble. In this segment, the story gets darker because the snake isn't always the judge, jury, and executioner. A vividly painted frog sits in the open, its skin packing enough poison to drop most attackers. It doesn't run. It doesn't cover up. Arrogance takes the place of fear. For most, this color is a stop sign. But nearby, a snake watches without blinking. This breed has built up an immunity after ages of toxic warfare. What should be untouchable is now on the menu. The attack is instantaneous. The frog barely twitches before it is pinned, its chemical shield useless. Seconds later, the toxins are irrelevant. The serpent starts swallowing the catch alive, showing that in the wild, resistance is king. What used to ensure life now ensures the end. Somewhere else, a reptile dashes across the flats, darting between cover. It spots the threat too late. From the rear, a serpent shoots forward with blistering pace. The hunt is over in moments. Weaving doesn't help. The gap closes. One solid chomp concludes the chase. Out here, being fast without being alert is a ticket to the grave. However, the real shocker is when the script gets flipped. A small, venomous snake slides along, oblivious that it has trespassed. Suddenly, serrated arms clamp down. A master of camouflage grabs the snake with an iron grip. The reptile thrashes, loops and bites, but it is already caught. Venom can't help. Accuracy can't help. The hunter begins its meal while the snake is still breathing. Scenes like this break the myth of supremacy. Poison isn't a win button. Being big doesn't mean you are safe. Out here, tomorrow belongs to the one who adapts fastest, and sometimes the apex killer is just dinner. What lies ahead stretches this truth even further. Soon you will see fights where guts matter more than size and terror dictates the winner. If these gritty moments of survival have you hooked, help the channel out by hitting like, subscribing, and keeping your eyes peeled for the next segment. In the bush, threats don't always drop from the sky or rush from the front. Sometimes they crawl out of the dirt. A juvenile snake navigates the leaf litter, hunting for heat and prey. Every sense screams caution, but senses aren't enough. From the gloom, a multi-legged horror strikes with shocking velocity. A tangle of legs encases the snake, instantly pinning it down. No room to bite, nowhere to run. A fang scrapes for purchase, but the hold tightens. Twin pincers dig in, pumping a brew meant to freeze nerves and stop the fight. The snake struggles harder, only serving to tighten the noose. In the wild, pausing is death, and sometimes even skill saves nothing. Slowly, savagely, the arthropod starts eating its catch alive. This is nature without the filter. In another twist, the impossible occurs. A small rodent rushes a venomous snake with zero fear. Incisors crunch down on scales. The serpent pulls back, baffled, attempting to escape. But the assault is relentless. Speed, fury, and seizing the moment crash together. In a flash, the tables turn. The stalker is now the stalked, not because it is frail, but because it was unprepared. Then deep in the thicket, two assassins meet. One tracks the other's trail with robotic patience. This hunter isn't afraid of venom. It feeds on it. The attack is picture perfect. A straight shot to the skull. No heads up, no exit. The target system shuts down before it can twitch. The winner swallows its enemy slowly, casually, as if the result was never in doubt. These moments unveil a stark reality. The wild favors the specialist, not the famous. Even the most dreaded monsters are one error away from extinction. Making it isn't about being the most lethal, it is about being prepared the exact second trouble shows up. And the closing chapter will demonstrate just how razor-thin the margin between breathing and dying really is. If you want to witness the conclusion of these wars, smash that like, sub to the channel, and stick with us for the finale. As the light fades, the wilderness doesn't rest. It gets sharper. The last hunt commences in the hush, where a single motion tips the scales between life and death. A solitary serpent glides across its domain, bold and seasoned, oblivious that it has trespassed into the realm of a swifter, sharper, and merciless master. Out here, blind assurance is the deadliest flaw one can possess. Emerging from the gloom, an unyielding hunter moves with absolute composure. No haste here, only calculation. Once the gap narrows, the assault erupts with the exactness of a surgeon's blade. Instinct drives the viper's lash, fangs gleaming, yet it bites only air. That solitary slip warrants a death sentence. The retaliation connects immediately, seizing the skull, halting all motion before the toxins can flow. In seconds, the struggle ceases. Nearby, a massive creature stiffens as a toxic reptile strikes. Bulk provides no shield. Poison courses rapidly wrecking. Motor functions, sapping power, dissolving the will to fight. The serpent commences its gradual, systematic feast mouth, distending beyond logic. The wilderness knows no justice, only results. This concluding footage sharpens the perspective. Living another day isn't about inspiring dread. It is about rhythm, placement, and seizing the instant. Toxin is potent, yet velocity rivals it. Traps are lethal, yet perception matches them. Often the tiniest pause determines the victor. The wild selects no champions. It picks survivors. Each clash witnessed here is authentic, merciless, and replayed daily outside our view. Behold, the genuine dominion of beasts, crude, hushed, and totally unyielding. If this voyage into the realm of toxic hunters left you breathless, prove your backing by hitting like, joining the subscriber ranks, and spreading this to those who honor untamed power. Further extreme creature encounters are approaching. Stay tuned.